Hello, Rolex versus Tudor. You've probably heard this discussion about a million times. I genuinely think Tudor is a better brand than Rolex. One, you can actually buy a Tudor at retail, and the used market isn't ridiculous like Rolex's. Yes, Rolex is a more prestigious brand and has more wow factor, but I just think the quality of Tudor is just so good for the price. It's a no-brainer to choose them over Rolex. I think a lot of people say Rolex is better purely because of the brand. You know, when you're wearing a Rolex, it's like a symbol of making it, in a sense. Tudor do borrow some parts from Rolex, but it's not really as common anymore. It's kind of a myth. And also, one benefit for the Tudor is they sometimes use ETA movements, but they do make some in-house movements, which are very, very good. It's obviously a similar story of Rolex, as you would expect from Rolex. With Rolex, it's also a myth that there's not many watches being made, but there's over 1 million a year being made. It's just their practice is to not sell to the masses to keep demand up, which is a genius way to make your brand more desirable. Now, there was a bit of a Rolex-esque move from Tudor recently with the Pepsi Opaline. That lasted about a couple of weeks, and then, because I was on a waiting list for about 3 stores, and I got a call from one of them after about a week of a waiting list. And yeah, they tried to do a Rolex move, but Tudor's not as popular. What you've got to also think about if you're buying a Rolex or a Tudor is service costs and how much parts are. Rolex is a bit of a, when it comes to modifying a watch, you can't just change the straps usually on a Rolex watch as they create them that way. But with Tudor, they're highly customizable and you can really get your own watch out of it. What you've also got to consider with longevity is repairs. Servicing is a different thing. You need to service every now and then. But with repairs, if you have accidental damage on a Rolex, it will cost you a fortune. With Tudor, albeit still expensive, it won't be anywhere near the price of Rolex. I think the main selling point for Tudor, though, for people that want a Rolex but can't get a Rolex, if you go to a shop and you're there literally to buy a watch, you want a Rolex, you can't get one, you're going to get the closest thing, which is a Tudor. I'll just say, if you're on your watch journey, don't buy for the brand, buy for the watch. You shouldn't care if it's got a crown on it. It's a hot topic talking about, is Tudor a poor man's Rolex? But I disagree, and I think it isn't. I think a lot of people have bought a Tudor for the fact that they can't afford a Rolex, but I think that's not a bad thing. I think you're wiser not to buy a Rolex, unless you're flipping, like most people do.